Salutations, salutations, everyone. Welcome back to another one of my great interviews. And I am so honored to have this next guest on. It's been a long time coming. I've been a follower of hers for, oh goodness, quite some time now. And she's actually one of my inspirations as to how I flow through my interviews. So I don't think she knows that until now, but she is one of my inspirations. And she's definitely an OG in this, and she's in the transition of celebrating her 20th season of her episodes with Miss Stevie Daytime. She's also a fashion icon as well. I mean, you see her glammed up. You see the looks that she gives. So she just does what she does and she does it well. So the fact that she's actually making the time to come through for me, like I said, it's a true honor in itself. So I had to make sure that I put on my bra so I could prepare myself to the type of conversation that we're going to have. I'm looking forward to her journey, discussing her journey with us. I'm looking forward to sharing some gems that she has. I know she has plenty, so I'm just looking forward to her being here with me and just giving you what she gives. But I mean, I'm just looking forward to her being in the hot seat though, because she's always the one asking all the questions. She wants to know everything about everybody. She want to be up in everybody else's business. So I'm just looking forward to the the tables being turned here. So without further ado, I am going to bring up to you Miss Stevie, y'all.
I'm coming up, I'm pressing on, I'm getting on, I'm an I'm coming up, I'm pressing on, I'm getting over it, I'm an
The legendary Miss Stevie in the building. Yes, give it to it, give it to her. Let her have it, let her have it. How are you, Miss Stevie? Mhm.
I am doing wonderful. How are you? How's everybody doing?
I'm all right. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was amazing. Like we had to do what we did. We made like a potluck. Like everybody was going to each other's houses, swapping
Oh, really?
recipes and things. So it was so much fun. Yeah, we had a
Okay,
great time.
so everyone is nearby. Everyone is like it's like one close knit community type of neighborhood.
Yes. And my grandmother's on the other side of town. I have a cousin over here on the other side of town. I have an aunt over here on the other side of town. And so it was so funny because we were going to each other's houses to get food and things, literally. And then my mom we all got turkeys. My aunt, I don't know how she managed to come into so many turkeys, but we had to go and break this big bird down. So my grandmother got some, everybody got some, and we're still eating leftovers.
Of course. Yeah, but can you tell me what are you thankful for, Miss Stevie?
Wow. I must say I'm thankful to have at least 32 years of life because most people in this business, especially Black trans women, do not make it to see 30 years of life. And I'm blessed and thankful by all means, by God, to still be here.
And so why do you think that because you made a point about, God allowing you to be on this earth longer than most. So why do you think that is in your own words? Why do you in your own perspective, why do you think, God kept you here?
Wait, you were going in and out, Faith. I couldn't hear the last question.
Oh, I was asking what you mentioned about how, as a transgender woman, a lot of times don't people are not able to be on this earth as long as you have. And you said that in the last
Yeah.
32 years and you've been able to do so much. And I was asking, why do you think that is? Why do you think God kept you here?
For a purpose, for a reason, to continue to be an advocate, to continue to advocate for those in our community who don't have a voice. And Faith, girl, you'd be surprised how many DMs and messages I get from people saying, Miss Stevie, thank you for speaking on this. And even with the regime of the current administration that's in office right now, I've gotten a plethora of DMs from people saying, Miss Stevie, what do we do? How can we move forward? And just from that, that has fueled me even more to be like a beacon of light, and not only a beacon of light, but a voice to those who are scared, who are, you know, scared to even speak out because of fear of deportation, all of these things. So yeah, that's why God has put me here, to have a purpose to encourage people to keep on.
Okay, and I appreciate you doing what you're doing, and so continue to do that. Yeah. So I just also wanted to. I want to get into the beginning stages. I want to get into um, where you were growing. As a child. Like, what was your birth name, by the way? What was your birth name?
It was uh J. I'll just say J. I don't want to put my full gov out there. I'll just say J for short. But how did I become Miss Stevie? How did I discover something different about myself in the beginning stages, the beginning journey of my life, growing up down here? And you know, Faith,
In
we're
South
we're both
Carolina?
mid South. So I
Yes,
grew
South
up in
Carolina, right?
Fairburg, South Carolina.
Hmm.
Yes. And it was very, very difficult down here. Of course, the South is the Bible Belt, and you have religion, you have organized religion, and it's difficult growing up down here, discovering yourself as black, as gay, or non-binary, or whatever. So for me, it was 13 years old when I discovered that something was very different about myself. And the journey ahead has not been easy. Yes. Oh, yes, my baby, that picture.
Yeah, yeah, and I wanna get
Uh-huh.
into that. Let me get into this first one right here. So, you said that you knew at that time, but Imma pause there because I wanna go back a little further. And how did you go up? Like, did you go up in a single parent household, two-parent household? Did you go grandparents, aunties, uncles? Like, what was your household dynamic like?
Ooh, okay. A two-parent household. Of course, you've heard me say it on the show. My father was a Marine vet. My mom worked. She did odd jobs. She helped take care of people and things. And my grandmother, we had to take care of her. She has her own place. So growing up with, let's see, four brothers and two sisters, and each and every one of us have our own personality. So in the picture in the top left hand corner, yes, the left hand, yeah, left hand corner, the red. I was 9 years old in that picture, and I've dug through the archives to find it. I said, okay, let's let people see my journey. So that person in that picture right there, that little baby, did not know that she walking into her own was going to be the force to be reckoned with that you guys see today, and you tune in every Monday through Friday to see. And then the one right there was when I want to say I was like in high, I was still just graduated out of high school, so I want to say in my 20s. And that's when I knew, like,
In your
fully,
20s?
that something was on. The birth of Style by Stevie came from that picture right there, because I
Okay.
started it right after high school.
Right
So in
after
the
that. Okay.
beginning
Oh,
stages,
wow.
yeah. But I'm gonna go back to the beginning of what you said. I
Yes.
want to touch on the one in the red photo because I was teased a
Yes.
lot growing up. I knew something was different, and a lot of queer children can attest to that. Growing up being teased because you're different, growing up because you feel like you're not enough or you're not valid. And I'm gonna be completely and transparent here with my girl Faith because she asked, and y'all know I'm gonna keep it real. It was not easy. I mean, growing up in South Carolina down here, I've had to battle homophobia, transphobia, but most importantly, racism. Like, I can remember
Mm.
a time my mom, she told me a story about they had a Klans meeting in front of the courthouse. Yes,
Ooh.
girl.
Ooh.
And the police had to protect the people away from the Klans people. This is years ago. And my mother told me this. And then, of course, you guys know about the Stoner Rebellion that happened
Right.
down here in
Right.
South Carolina. So I'm like, okay, growing up, okay, black, gay. My mom would have the conversation with me. She's like, why don't you try to get a girlfriend? I said, no, mommy, that's not what I want. And then she asked me, because you're coming out, you're coming into your own. She said, do you like men? I said, yes. I said, yes. Just
Okay,
like
so
you.
yeah, I'm gonna get
And
because I want to fast forward. Yeah, but I'm definitely gonna get to that one. Definitely got to get to that
yeah.
story. But okay, so this little boy right here, this is around the time, I always try to get into elementary and junior high school. So this is in between that time. You was in
Mhm.
elementary school at that time. So what was this was the time when you were Jay. So what was Jay like? You saying that you was teased, but were you shy? Were you reserved? Did you look up to anyone, or like between elementary and junior high school? What was it like? Did you have any extracurricular activities that you went part of, any clubs or anything like that?
I played soccer, surprisingly,
Soccer.
and a lot of people don't know this. Yes, and I have the
Wow.
picture somewhere. I have to dig in the
Yes, please put
archives.
it
I
up.
have so many child
Yeah, I want to
childhood
see that.
pictures,
Yes. Put that up. Yes.
and I always have been an overachiever, AB honor roll student. That's as I got up in high school, always staying ahead. But this young person in this photo, Jay, and the red photo up top, I would say Jay was slowly but surely discovering who Jay was. And not only just slowly discovering who they were, but more importantly, trying to figure out, why am I different? Why am I being teased? Because every child that has been bullied asks themselves these questions, like, what is wrong with me? Why are people
Right.
constantly, you know, coming after me? But
Did you
I
get an
did cut up.
answer
I
from those
started
cruel
to,
kids?
no,
Yeah, of
no.
course not.
But I did get in a little bit of trouble in that young age right there, and I got a lot of discipline, but it molded me into what you guys see today. Because I had to do a lot of fighting, not physically
Yes.
fighting, but
Right.
just
Because you was
with
fed
my
up.
mouth.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mhm. Yeah, so, but how about, like, how was it trying to navigate through or fighting through all the bullying and dealing with, trying to, try to figure out how to navigate through, academia? How were your grades?
Oh, I was failing. That's
You was
third grade in that
failing.
picture in the
Right,
red
right.
face. I was failing. I was failing behind because I wasn't paying attention. I was teased a lot. So, depression, going through a depression, having to suffer with that. And I've been open and candid about having anxiety on the show and depression, even with the current state that we're in, all of these things. I try to be as transparent with people as possible. But that young person in that picture, Jay, slowly coming into their own. As I got up in, I want to say middle school was when I started to buckle down and apply myself. And I was still teased. I was teased all the way up through grade school. But then when I got into high school was when I started. And I know you say you don't want to jump ahead, but middle
Right.
school was where I started to apply
Become
myself more,
yeah.
become and apply myself more, buckle down, study. If I needed to ask a teacher for help, I would. And that's one thing about me at a young age, you're prideful. Like you don't want to ask anybody to help you try to get it from your own. And that's something that I've learned from, I want to say my dad, is that independence, coming into your own, slowly discovering, what do you want to do with your career in life? Because my brother went into the military. I decided to do fashion, and
Got it.
we'll get into that later.
Yeah,
She said she don't want
absolutely.
to fast forward.
Yeah, I know it's a lot to unpack. Like I said, because you have a lot of layers to you, so I want to make sure I get
Yeah,
everything. I want to get all of it. Yeah. So with Jay failing and having to who was who was with you in your journey towards overcoming that? Like, did you have a support system? I know you said that you had your parents around, but did they support you? Did you talk with them about what you was experiencing? Did any of the teachers try to aid you in trying to work on improving academically as well as helping you to navigate through the whole bullying process? Did they help you do that? Did they support you? Did they hold those kids accountable?
absolutely. And I give a very
Okay.
special shout out to my principal. At the time, I think his name was Mr. Smith or Mr. Maxwell. Yeah, it was Mr. Smith, I want to say around that time because it was middle school and then high school was Mr. Maxwell. So very special shout outs to them. It was like I was the apple of their eye. And if I got in
Okay.
trouble, it would disappoint them or whatever. But they were one of the ones that would hold the children that were bullying me accountable because I slowly became into my own of telling people, like, hey, this person is bothering me. This person will not leave me alone. I feel like I'm slighted. But I've always had a good rapport with my teachers, and most importantly, my mother than anything. There have been plenty of times my mom would have to come out to the school, parent teacher conferences, from me being picked on and things. And I can remember just that alone, having those dark thoughts in my head where it's just like, my God, why are these kids doing this to me? It's got to be something off. So this is where I'm slowly. We're now going into middle school right here, right?
Yes.
13 years old, and discovered who I am. And my mom asked me the big question: do you like
What time?
boys or girls? Have you ever
Mm,
tried to get a
yes.
girl? And I said, Mommy, that's not what I'm into. I think women are beautiful, but that's not in the cards for me. And at the time, my brother, he had a girlfriend or whatever. He's slowly coming up. Girls will come after him, and I'm just like, that's not what I'm into. She said, do you like men or do you like women? Do you like boys or girls? And I said, I love men. And she said, I'm not going to love you any less because you are my child. You are
Wow.
my child, and I'm not going to love you any less.
Because
You
she
came
knew.
from me. I was
Yeah.
the third born,
Yeah.
third born Faith.
Out
And
of how
she
many?
said she, after this, yes. And she dropped a bombshell on me not too long ago, just recently, where it was like, she said, I didn't plan on having no more kids. I didn't plan on getting pregnant no more after your brother and your sister came before you. So here I am, this baby with these almond shaped brown eyes,
Yeah, you just
looking
came
up
out of
at
nowhere. You
her
just came out
like,
of nowhere.
yes, they say three times the charm. So here I am. I'm like, all right, mom, looking at her, like, where do we go from here? So middle school and then going into high school. High school was when, because I had to tone it down, but I did something bad. I colored my hair, and we'll dive into that later. That ties into fashion. But kids would tease me for that.
Of
And
course.
because I was different. And I went in and
Yes.
I tried to use black crayon. What is it? I couldn't remember what the spray, like the spray we have now, which is the topic. I said, oh
Yeah.
crap, I'm gonna have to use black crayon because my hair was like a fiery red color and the kids was teasing me about it. So I started coloring my hair in middle school. And then after that, as I came into high school, I'm like, okay, I'm fully out. I can dress however I want to. I can style myself however I want to. And I didn't really discover pronouns until after high school.
Right,
I didn't
right.
learn more about non-binary. I knew about trans and bisexual and homosexual, but I didn't really know anything about non-binary or pan until later
Until it
after
right.
high school.
Because they're always
Yeah,
adding on. They're always adding on. But I just wanted to
yeah,
get back into when you was talking when you was like transitioning into the more androgyny phase, I'm assuming, correct?
yes,
Yeah, right.
which is that
So
photo in the right. Yeah,
yeah, okay, there you okay, all right. Because I was thinking when you was talking about it, I was thinking about when I had Jade Morgan on and she was talking about how, she was, that self-discovery phase and, how she was she started to dress a certain kind of way and she
yeah,
started to really get more into owning what it is that she truly felt that she truly was. So it kind of put me in the mind of that. So I don't know if you saw it or not, but yeah, please make sure you check that out with Jade Morgan. Um but I also wanted to go back to the conversation you had with your mom because that's really poignant because a lot of parents, it's
yeah,
hard for them to receive, you know, your child being anything outside of what tradition says or the societal norms.
yeah.
So the fact that your mom knew already. Let's just be your mom knew.
Woman's intuition, they know
Yes, she knew.
women instantly know these things. It comes to you right off the bat, so you can't hide it. My mom was like, "You can try to lie." She said, "Don't lie to me. Tell me the truth." And she said, "I'm not
It's
gonna love you
yes.
any less."
Okay. And that's so important. And I think that a lot of parents, and I know it's hard, it's not easy for parents to accept that from their children. Because again, there's societal norms and what they're programmed to expect from the nuclear family, right? So the fact that your
Yeah,
mom was able to embrace it and not only accept it, but she respects it. Because there are two different things here. Because there's one thing to respect, but acceptance totally different. So how did your father accept it?
we have a very rocky relationship, and this is the
Mm.
first time I'm being transparent here with Faith about it. We have a very rocky relationship, and I
Even
have a
until
brother that's
now?
gay. I have a Yes, with me being 32 years old, having independence over myself, over my autonomy, over all of these things, it drives him up a wall. And I have a brother that's gay. Surprisingly, people don't know that. But yes, my older brother,
Mm.
a part of the community, but he was just like, I can't deal with your type of gay. It's too extreme for me. as any
Ah,
father. They expect their boys to be gay and masculine.
that,
That's one
right.
thing. But to be feminine or as Jade, and when you had your conversation with Jade or androgyny, which is okay, one part mask, one part feminine. When I think of androgyny or fashion, I think of Grace Jones. And I
Yes.
can remember when she did her interview with Joan Rivers. In that interview, if you go back and watch it, she said, people can't tell sometimes if I'm a man or a woman. So she's a woman. She's a biological
Oh,
woman.
oh, oh, yeah. She's definitely. Oh,
But
she's definitely a woman. Yeah.
fashion, fashion should have no gender at all. It should be neutral. I mean, people
Yes,
can
it's
put on a dress.
universal.
Anybody can put on a dress or a suit or whatever. Who are you to tell somebody they can't dress a certain way? And him, the the other family member or parent, does not like that. So even till now, our relationship is very rocky. We do
Mm,
not have the best relationship. So it's like one minute we're up and then the next we're down. It's like, okay, you gonna accept me or not? But he's
right.
always had his favorites. Always had his favorites. I wasn't one of them, and it's because I look so much more like my mom than anything. My brother, who I said went into the army, looks just like me as well too. So it's like I have an identical twin. Yes, running around here. The only difference is if you take away the contour, the lashes, and all of that, you'll
Got
have
you.
another version
Totally
running
different.
around.
Totally right.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Yeah. So you saying that you look because he resents you for looking so much like more like your mom. But I know there's some resentment for other reasons as well. So what are some other reasons why your father resents you, or does it find you or find you least favorable?
I could say for one, my gender identity, how I identify, the femininity aspect of it, walking into my truth and not letting it be hidden. Whereas most parents, you're having to sneak who you are and hide who you are, your sexuality, your gender identity, and how you I want to identify because you don't want to, how can I say it? And I know a lot of queer people in the community can attest to this, which is I don't want to let my parent down. I don't want to be an embarrassment to them. I don't want to be deemed as a failure or a burden. And sometimes with him, that's how I feel sometimes, like a failure
Mm,
or a burden. But I'm just like, you're grown now. You have say so over your own life, over how you choose to walk and navigate in the world. All you can do is take the advice that he's given you. And that has helped mold me into the person you guys see today, which is that bold, unapologetic, outspoken woman that you guys see do Style by Stevie every single day.
absolutely.
And everything that's been thrown at me, every obstacle that has been in my way, I try to go through it like a race. I walk over it and I continue to keep going. But he's been one of the obstacles in that. So I would, if he were to see it, I would say, thank you. Thank you
Mm.
for
But Stevie,
not
let me ask you this, Stevie. I'm gonna interject real quick because I wanna know, like, do you believe that because being like your father sounds to be ultra masculine or like kind of what they say
absolute.
yeah like the beta male. So do you think that just based on how you transition in life, how you evolved as you are right now, do you think that he feels like that's a reflection on him, like he failed as a parent and he's done something wrong, or he made you this way? Do you think that he feels that in his mind?
In some cases, in some aspects, because when I was younger, like I said, I played soccer and everything. It was very
Right.
masculine. But as I've gotten older, because I always wanted to do hair. I've always wanted to do hair. Yeah, he would take me to the barber shop or the beauty salon or whatever, because my cousin has a barber shop and a beauty salon. So I would go to both parts. And it's certain things he didn't want me looking at, certain magazines he did not want me looking at, like Cosmopolitan was one.
Mm,
And what was the other one? Marie Claire, it was
right.
Essence, it was all of these magazines. And I can remember my first grade teacher, who surprisingly related to us in some sort of way, a cousin of ours. I got my first issue of Vogue, and it was the big, thick issue of Vogue.
Yes,
And I
yes.
would take it to school and I would hide it with her, leave it with her. And then sometimes I would bring it back home. So it's like uh, a seesaw
Wow.
in a way. Bring it back, take it home. Bring it back, take it home. And I would not let him see me looking at it because it was
Mm.
girly. Now I
Y-
can read whatever magazine publication I want to. Vogue,
Of
Harper's
course.
Bazaar. Hell, I could probably be on the cover of Vogue. Who knows?
Uh,
And my girlfriend
That's
could
right.
be there
Speak
right there
speak
with
on
me.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, speak on it. You better speak on that. Yeah, so now let me go a little bit into what high school did you go to?
Bamberg Earhart High School. And the principal, shout outs to my principal who introduced me to fashion, Dr. Glover, Dr. Sandra Glover. And then my
Oh,
principal's name was Randy Maxwell. And they
Mandy
both,
Maxwell.
I was the apple in their eye because we had something called the Garnet and Black Society, where if you made the AB honor roll, it would be like a special award. And I'm
Right.
looking at my awards right up there, like, wow, you've come a long way. So looking back, in high school was where I started to, middle school to high school was where I started to buckle down and apply myself more and focus because I'm just like, okay, this is the final kick right here, senior year. You can do
Yeah,
whatever
and
you
now
want. You
you know
graduate, you
what,
go to
Stevie?
school.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish your sentence. I'm sorry. Finish.
Yeah, I was saying about my principles and then, graduating or whatever. But we'll get to that a little later because I know you said you're not trying to jump ahead, but you're going
Yeah,
through
but I
your
just wanted real
experience.
quick. The reason why I kept this up is because I wanted to know, like, what was this about? Like this look of disgust you have. Like you just was like over it. Like, what was? Do you remember this? Do you remember that face? That's why I kept it up because I wanted to address that.
I was just like, child, please.
You
Just
was
take the
irritated or
picture
something.
and get it over with. Because they were adjusting. You know how you take the cap and gown
Yes.
photos, y'all. Y'all know. They want you to turn your head a certain way, turn your body a certain way. And then you got the, yeah. I was just over it.
Okay, 'cause I needed to know. That's why I kept it up so long. As I was like, I want to wait until we get to that point so I can ask that because I had to know, like, what is that face about? Okay, so you but yeah, you was going into so you said that one of your teachers was the one that got you more into fashion. You saying that.
Yes, Dr. Sandra Glover was the one who introduced me to fashion. And I think the first time we met, I was in there sketching in the cafeteria because I wanted to go for fashion mass communications. And she saw me
Wow.
doing it, and she came in the cafeteria and she tapped me on the shoulder and she said, I see you like fashion. I'll bring you some Hoppers Bazaars and Vogue tomorrow. I did not know what kind of
Wow.
Vogue, how big they were, but I know this is around the fall months. And around this time, they have New York Fashion Week going on. So the issues are about this thick. Faith,
Yes.
girl, when I tell you, no lie, the next day, because we wasn't supposed to go where the teachers come through in, with like the teachers' interest of the school. I went to her office because we have already created a rapport about fashion.
Yes.
And she said,
Yes.
come to my office the next morning. She gave me the keys to her car. And on the back seat, there were about 5 or 6 different Vogues and
Mm,
Hoppers Bazaar. And as I'm flipping through them, coming back inside, bringing her the keys, I'm like, this is a whole new world. Because here I am, bumpkin, right here, born and raised in South Carolina. The only brands that I'm privy to is FUBU, South Pole, Fat
yes.
Farm, not
Yes.
Valentino, and Versace. I knew about Gucci, but that was on a whole nother level. But
Yes.
she introduced me to a world of luxury fashion, couture fashion, like Armani Privé. She taught me how to pronounce the designers' names and everything.
Mm,
And I thank her every single time I see her or run into her in the store. So you taught me so much about fashion from the showrooms to where, how the dresses are made, what the designers do. You taught me so much about it. So she was the reason I got into
oh wow! And so when but when did you decide to start sketching? Like, because that must have been before she came along. You said that you was already sketching.
it. Yeah.
So how did that, how did I come across? Like, how did you have the desire? Like, where did I come from? I,
Being in art class,
okay,
and then we had to
okay,
do a project where it was like well, now we call them vision boards, but it was like a
yes,
collage of what we wanted to do with our life. And we couldn't really do it like that. We had to put it together like, okay, parts, pictures of skin and all of these things, build it into what we wanted it to be. And I said, you know what? Let's get into fashion. Let's start sketching. I want to do something different. And so that was what I wanted to major in. But
Mhm.
backstory on that, we didn't have a fashion program down here. We could take art class, but we didn't have a fashion program. So the closest thing to it was cosmetology. And I started taking up cosmetology in high school, got my license. Well, before we jump
Wow.
ahead to that, I didn't do so well on the first time. I remember crying all the way back
Oh,
after I took the test,
oh,
which was that you have
oh.
the practical and the theory, which is like the theory part is where you're like in this room, like a cubicle, like if you're in an office cubicle, and then you have a
Right.
supervisor out here monitoring and make sure nobody cheats or anything. And then the practical part I did well on, executed that. But then I went to take the theory part. That was the part that I cried all the way back. And then
Mhm.
my girlfriend, who styled by here in the beginning stages of Style by Stevie, she said, go back and take that test. My father, again, Marine vet. This is one thing we can agree on. He said, oh no, you going back to take that test. How much that test is. And I
Oh,
didn't
wow.
object to that. I went back and
So
I
he
studied all
supported you on that. Oh, okay.
yeah, because it was something
Mm.
I wanted to do. He said, oh no, you going back to take that test. And faith, the second time I went back,
You tore it up.
passed with flying colors, girl, licensed and everything. The first thing I can remember was getting a pepperoni pizza. That's one of my guilty pleasures. I love pepperoni pizza. And that was my celebration treat for celebrating for passing the test. And then
Wow.
getting my Sally's card. The next day, I remember getting my Sally's card because when you're in beauty school, you get the blue student card, like on
Right.
a piece of paper. And then as you graduate, as you get your license and everything, you get the red card, which says pro preferred. So, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And so
Mhm.
when did you get your license? You said it was at right after high school or during? When was it?
During Cope
During.
Area Career Center. And shout outs to my instructor, Miss Maisie J. Stevenson, for believing in me. And she
Mm.
even said it herself. She said, why don't you go to fashion school? I was like, hairstyling is a form of fashion. So I would like to do both. I like to juggle in all arenas. I don't like to stay in just one lane. And being in this business, I realized that you have to have multiple irons in the fire.
Yes. Oh,
You can't
yes.
just stay in one lane. So
Absolutely. And so I'm so glad that you were able to own in on that because sometimes it takes some people years, even beyond high school and college, to figure it out. Even though they knew, or even though they had the idea at that time during high school, between high school and college, some for whatever reason they never got the opportunity to pursue it the way you did. They never had the opportunity to really know for sure if this is something they really wanted to do because they take the safe route. Did you? Okay. By the way, did you start working? Like, did you have actual regular jobs?
did I start working?
Like, did you
What
have
I
regular
did
jobs
was
after high school? What did you do after high school?
I started when people would call me, I would come to their house and do their hair because where my sister was staying at, it was like a community for the elderly. And what I would do is I would go and do her hair, my sister's hair and makeup, and then other women would see it and they're just like, okay, can Stevie do me? Can Stevie do me? I'm just like, I don't need him. You don't have to set up an appointment with me. It's out of the greatness of my heart. So let's go ahead and let's make these people feel good about themselves. So that's what I would do. And I still do it because it's something that I love. I love the feeling of, even when getting ready, I love seeing the mirror
Yes.
first thing
Yes.
hand as I'm getting ready, what I'm wearing, what I'm putting on, my makeup or whatever, and then to turn the mirror on somebody else and see their reaction to it.
Yes.
Even with my mom has always been my test dummy. If not my mom, then my sister. If not my sister, then my grandmother and my aunts. They were the precursor for me to get into beauty school because I would always practice on them, whether it was shampooing their hair.
Right.
Now, I couldn't touch the relax at that time because they didn't want me bothering chemicals. But as I've gotten older, I could do
Right.
that.
Yeah. So you started, owning on your craft, as you
Yep.
grew into it. Did you go like I said before, like, 'cause I know outside of you making, money off of, doing hair, you had bills at the time, I would assume, or you had to have, certain, benefits and all that stuff. So did you have, like, regular employment as well? You know?
No, no.
Okay. Oh,
Not
oh,
really.
no? You ain't had
But
no
that
no
was
no job?
just like that. And what I was thinking about, because I told my mother about this at the time when I was in beauty school, was like opening my own studio. where people
Right.
could come in and it could be like a one place shop. Like if you guys seen this the movie with Selena, you know Selena had a boutique in her salon, and then she had her salon part where they did the hair, they did the nails. That's what I was thinking about doing. My mom was like, "Why don't you hone into it?" But I said, "No,
Yes.
no, not gonna work." And this is how the birth of Style by Stevie came about. Because
Oh,
right after high school, I said, "Okay, what is going to be your game plan?" Our parents always ask us, "What are we going to do next? What are
right.
we going to do next?" Because you're now in your senior year, you done graduated. What is going to be the plan? So it was to continue to do hair. And I'm just like, no, I love this. And then as I'm having conversation with my clientele or the people that I'm sitting with to do their hair or whatever, I'm like, we got to have something because these are issues that affect not only just women, but people around the world.
Absolutely. Oh,
And
yes,
so they would
absolutely.
ask me for my opinion on things, and it would just be like, it's spot on because you know how you're the person that says what people are thinking. And that's what I do on my platform. I say the things that people are thinking. And that's how the birth. I'm not gonna jump ahead, I'm gonna let Faith take it over. But
It's a,
that's how the birth of
yeah.
Style by Stevie began. Just from that, sitting and having a conversation. But I'm in like in a salon area. I'm doing it like in my sister's living room. In my sister's living room, while
Right,
she's in the
right.
kitchen. I would go spend the night with her. And she said, "Come do my makeup and my hair because I got a date with my boyfriend." And I'm just like, "Okay, sure. I don't mind coming to spend the night with you." So those are fun things that I
Yeah,
would
that
do.
sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds so much fun. So now, so you got right straight into your in your craft. So was it that lucrative for you from the beginning? It was that
Yeah.
lucrative for you?
Yes. I love
Wow.
doing it. And I remember when I was going to beauty school, we would have something called Pamper Me Day. And
Okay.
every Friday would be open lab. And what we would do is, I can remember the girls in the class, they'd be pulling the foil through their hair, the cap, the other girls, not the black ones. Because we know if we keep coloring our hair so much, uh, it'll damage it. But what we would do is nails. And I would have some of the girls in there do my nails in the class and things. And we would all exchange services on each other. I'd learn about natural hair because my mom at the time was natural. Now she's
Okay.
not so natural,
Mhm.
but we always will be trading what type of products do we use, all of these things in open lab days. The other girls would have their part of the lab, and then the black girls over here, we'd have our
Mhm.
part. And it
Right.
would mostly be like getting your hair treated, a conditioner or getting it braided or, just straightening, all of those things that we would.
Yeah. So you do your own wigs. You style your own wigs when you come on.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. You guys are seeing the stylist, and my hair always looks great. Like today's hair inspiration, I was trying to kind of thinking of Carrie Hilton in her
Okay.
No
Pretty
Boys
girl rock.
Allowed era.
Oh.
Yes. In
Okay.
the No Boys Allowed era, Pretty Girl Rock era, I wanted
Okay.
something very different. And especially for the upcoming season, which will be in the new year. So I had to switch it up.
And your nails too. You do your own nails.
I do my own nails.
Let me see
And
them.
with
Let's see them. Show them, Miss. Show us. Yeah, show us, Miss Stevie.
with the blackout, I said, you know what? It's time for me. When the shutdown happened, a lot of people were just like, what are we gonna do? A lot of women mainly were like, what are
Yes.
we gonna do? We can't go to the hair salon. We can't go
Right.
to the nail salon. What are we gonna do? So a lot of people took time to start to learn to do their own nails. I was one of those
Yes.
people because I wanted to start going to a
Mhm.
salon, but I'm just like, okay, what can I do? Let me find something to do with my time. And believe it or not, Taraji P. Henson inspired me to start doing my own.
Oh, how
She
so?
started doing her own nails,
Oh,
and
oh,
she has an
okay.
actual salon in her house. She has her salon in her
Oh, I didn't
house.
know that.
Yes. And it's a video out there. You guys have to punch it in. She has a salon, you know. She does her own wigs and things. Niecy Nash is
Mm,
another who would do hair for college. She would do the girls' hair for college to pay for her books in college. So you have to get a head start of somewhere. And I just said, you know what? Let me pick up the tools of the trade, start doing my own nails, start doing my own hair and installs. And if other people want this service, then I'll figure out pricing and all of these things. But I would
right.
love to offer service to my clientele as well.
Yeah. So, Miss Stevie, let me ask you, because I'm still trying to figure out like where, the finances come in because I know
Yeah,
because I could tell, like I could hear the passion in your voice. You love what you do and you were able to build your clientele. I'm sure you have a portfolio out there somewhere. So where did the money come in to where you were able to sustain, and able to
my
maintain?
parents, my parents, they invested
Okay.
in me a lot. And
Okay.
then as
Okay.
I got a little bit, because I remember we all get allowances growing up. Me and my brother, we both got an allowance.
Okay.
And then, we had our, you had to save. We had to save deeply. I remember my dad bought this piggy bank, this clown piggy bank, and it was hideous. I can't remember where that thing is. And I hated it, y'all. But it was one day my brother took it and he broke it. And I've learned more about saving and investing because my mother, she always instilled that into us. So when we get an allowance, I would save and I would invest in prep for beauty school to purchase combs. And then as
Nice.
I got in
Nice.
actual cosmetology school, that kit was, I want to say, $266 at the Career Center because you had to get your combs, you had to get your textbook, which was already provided by the school. And in the kit, you got your the rollers, you've got the rods, you've got your blow dryer, you've got your curling iron, and it's not like the traditional curling irons that our grandmothers would use on our family members in the house and the hot combs and everything. It had all of that in the kit. So it was a pretty big kit. And then it had the rolling case as well, too. So it was a big deal. But that's how I got it financially, it's just from my parents instilling that into me to save,
Got it.
to invest. And my mother would hold on to whatever I got.
Oh, that's amazing because not many families were able to attest to that. So that is so great that your parents
Yeah.
instilled financial literacy at that about budgeting, about learning about that. Because a lot of us, a lot of children, unfortunately, we go up. I mean, we'll say, "Oh, can I have a few dollars for lunch or a few dollars for this?" But
Yeah.
they don't truly, not a lot of parents sit down with their children and understand the value of money, the value, not just budgeting, but the value of it and where does it go and how you need to understand where how you are able to play these video games, how you're able to get the latest sneakers and how hard you have to work to attain these things. So I'm so glad that your parents instilled that in you, so congrats to them. Shout out to them. Yeah,
And
so
it's
now.
taught me a long way, girl. It's helped me a long way.
Yes,
So
yes.
when you hear T.S. Madison and everybody out here talking about redistributing wealth, investing, budgeting, all of these things, they are not lying. You learn that at a young age, just from doing odd jobs. It can be cutting grass. And that's another thing, Faith. I'm glad you asked that question because we would have chores around the house. My
Mhm.
father was not playing that. Like I said, but
Okay, okay.
when he tells you to get up and get those clothes in that dirty clothes hamper, get out there and go hang out those clothes and help your mom. All of those things, we each had chores in the house. And so as my sister moved out and got her own, she realized it the hard way. You're on your own, you're taking care of your own stuff. So this is real. But me and my brother, we had to get it from the ground up, picking up tree limbs outside when it was a storm or whatever. It would always have tree limbs, and we would get paid for doing those little things. And we'd learn to save over time. My mom, she drilled that into our minds. And now, being 32 years old, an adult, I see what my mom is saying now. Now you're gonna have to pay bills. You're gonna have to pay your rent.
Yes.
You're gonna have to do all of these things. Invest.
And then you know what? And I love that because I love the fact that they didn't throw you to the wolves once you became a certain age. Because a lot of parents, they don't instill certain things in their children. They feel like once they become 18 or 19 years old, you ready to leave the nest now, so just go and figure it out. No, you can't do that. Yeah, that's not how it works at all. Or sometimes there are some parents that make their children pay rent. I'm like, I'm like, no, come on. Because first of all, that is not their responsibility. That's yours. That's you as an adult, you as a parent. Let them, build that nest egg. Let them prepare. So that way, when you become an adult, you be more self sufficient. So you don't have to worry about coming back unless there's like you falling on real hard times. It's beyond your control. The steps or the tools you need to stay on your own, to remain self sufficient, to remain independent. So I'm so glad that your parents taught that to you. But Miss Stevie, I want to kind of pivot a little bit into your fashions because you said that you started in high school. It was started with you sketching, and your teacher had bought you magazines to help you to get own your craft. So when did that start for you? When did that become a thing for you?
What was the last part, Faith? You cut out a little bit. I couldn't hear the last part.
Now I was asking, when did the fashion become a thing for you? After high school, once you started the sketching and started getting inspirations from these different magazines that your teacher bought for you, you said you got into the whole career in cosmetology, but I wanted to get more into how that develop into your fashion. I want to get more into the fashion side of things.
Yes. How did
Uh,
it? Well, doing hair, of course, because you can't have great style without having great hair. And that was
True.
something that I was very adamant about doing. And so my grandmother, my father's mother, she was keen on looking good as well. So that's where I got the inspiration from. But right after high school, for me, sketching, putting things together, reading fashion magazines, and then just taking what was in the magazines and starting my own trends for dressing, for style. And I would always, how can I describe it? I would always want to wear black, gray, khaki. But
Oh,
then high
yes.
school, you see me sort of like what I'm wearing today, which is like, okay, dress shirts, blazers, uh, the skinny jeans, pairing it up with different prints and different patterns, experimenting. My mom was just like, see, I told you you love it once you try it. Because I was
Mm.
very adamant. I wanted to wear just dark blue jeans. I wanted to do gray. I wanted to do white. I
Y-
didn't want to do any other color. I
The
hated
safe,
khaki. I hated
the
red. I
safe
hated
colors.
everything. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, you can't be
Mm-hmm.
in the fashion world and not experiment with different prints
Color.
and patterns. And so right
Mm-hmm.
after high school was the time for me to sort of like branch out. And before I was very like you said, playing it safe. I would do like these capri pants when I first started Style by Steve in the beginning stages. My style has very much so transitioned from then to now. Where it's more feminine, where it's more girly, where it's more couture. Whereas before it was a mix of mask and film. So I would do the off the
Yes.
shoulder tops and then a pair of capri pants. And I'm just like, I'm not trying to wear a dress. I'm gonna put on a pair of pants and a jacket and just make it my own thing. But then as the seasons have progressed,
Right.
a little bit, you see me sort of like branch out full glam. You can't keep me out of a dress now. There's not a moment where I'm not wearing off the shoulder or the back is out, like a keyhole
Yeah, you're more
cut
you
out
you
in the
getting
back.
you getting more bold now. Yeah, you
Yes.
getting more
And
bold. Yeah.
before I was very, Faith, I'm going to be honest, I was very, yes, va va voom.
There it is. Bam. Oh, bam.
Yes, with the back out.
Yeah.
I would not wear anything like that before because I was insecure. And
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
just like, okay, if you're going to do fashion, it's either go hard or go home. You have to
Absolutely.
have the confidence to own it fully. People can either love it or hate it. And so far, people have been loving it. Like they're s- always tuned in every day at 4 p.m. to see what I'm wearing, what the hair is going to look like. I
Yes.
remember
Yes.
interviewing,
I'll be looking
and I
forward to
think
it
you should.
too.
I think you should have him on your show, Faith. This Kenyon
Who?
O'Brien, and you guys know him as Jabril on Triangle. If
Jabril.
you watch Triangle, the
Oh,
show
okay.
Triangle.
Okay.
Yes, Kenyon L. O'Brien. When I did
Okay.
my interview with Kenyon, Kenyon was like, "What hair is she gonna give me today?"
Yes. I'll be looking forward to it too, Miss Stevie. I'm like, okay, what
I
look
was
is she
like,
gonna give? That's it, because that's a show in
"Men
itself.
know these
That's your
days."
own. But Stevie, you don't understand. You don't know. You don't you know that's your own fashion show right there. You giving us fashion show. That's your virtual fashion show right there. That's how I see it. You know.
I never looked at it that way. I
Yeah,
never
that's
looked
what
at
you're
it that way.
giving
I'm
us.
looking at it like
Yeah, I love it.
I'm
You
like,
get that. Is it you in the closet? Is that your closet? Did you be modeling your stuff in?
Actually, yes, it's a backdrop. My mom said, "Get a big backdrop to make the outfit stand out." So I stand in front of the backdrop to make the clothes
With the white
stand
hangers?
out. Yes, the hangers are behind the backdrop. You guys can't see, but I
Oh,
have a lot of
okay.
pieces and stuff in storage as well too. And I'm always buying and rotating pieces. And with style, that's the thing. That's what I've learned in the beginning stages of Style by Stevie is that you have to rotate pieces. Give
Yeah.
people
Oh, you
something
do.
different. Give people something different because And our guy told me this as well too. And when I had my
Ah,
interview with him and Faith had the pleasure, our guy was telling me
yes.
because we talked about fashion, which is make it your own, make it
Oh, yes.
original, and be
Absolutely.
original. And more importantly, step outside of your comfort zone and do things that you are not comfortable doing. I have a scar on my leg
Yes.
when I fell off the bicycle when I was younger, Faith, and those are the reasons why I would always wear pants in the first stages. But now you can't
Oh.
stop me from showing my legs. And like the picture she just showed, the back out, you can't stop me from showing it now. Even my mom would be like, who's also part owner of Style by Stevie along with my cousin. They're
Oh,
just
really?
like, Lord, my
Oh,
mom
okay.
is just like, because I go back and I show
Oh,
her the
you
picture.
gave them a piece of your
And
dream.
yes. And I'm like,
Oh,
for the woman who birthed me and brought me into this world, because she, like, again, she said it to me. She dropped that bombshell. She said, I did not plan on getting pregnant and having no more kids. So here
right.
I am, third born. And so I said, why not give the
And you
woman
made
who
an
birthed me?
experience. You made her, you made
But
that an experience.
yes, and it was a magical one. It was a magical one. She wasn't expecting a baby like me because, like I said, my brother
Of
and my sister
course.
came before me. And uh I would show her some of the pictures of the outfits on the show, and she's just like, "My God, that all right, Miss Sexy, that dress is pretty short, that skirt is pretty short," and she knows it's tastefully done. So I
Yes.
show it to my mom, and she loves it. So can't
Oh.
complain.
Yeah, so let me ask you, Miss Stevie. So I'm gonna go back to this picture right now. Given given what we talked about so far, where you are right now so far, what would you can you have a conversation with this with Jay, little Jay right here? What would you tell him right now? Where you are right now? What would you tell him?
Baby, you are going places. The journey is going to be rough, but you have made it. You have overcome. You are walking into your life. That's what I would say to the one in the red picture. And I still
Now,
can't stop laughing at what Faith said about the second one because I've never thought of it that way. I was just like, boy, just take the picture and come on now.
yeah, right. Like, come like, oh, like, dang, I'm over it. Now, what would you tell? Now, what would you tell him? What would you tell? Because you were still Jay then.
Yes, Jay
Okay,
slowly coming into Miss Stevie. Yes,
yeah.
but
So, what would you tell? Would you tell the high school graduate?
the high school graduate. Wow, and that was in 2014. What I would tell Jay right there in that picture, bigger and better things are coming. This is now the end. You have made it. You've worked hard. You have proven yourself. Good grades in school. You're not hurting anybody. It is now time. It is
Yeah.
now time to be brave and walk into that light of your authenticity. You don't have to worry about anybody else's approval anymore. Your own validation. You are an outlaw. You are a different breed. So continue to walk in that. You have something very, very special and unique that sets you aside from other people. And it was the issue of Essence, and I'm pretty sure you've seen it, Faith, with
Yes.
Grace Jones on the cover, and she's got the purple and the green, and it's on the top, I want to say left hand corner. I have that picture framed, by the way. It says "Dare to be different."
Mm.
So, what I would say to that person in the second photo in the right, in my high school years, dare to be different, dare to be unafraid, dare to be unapologetic, walk in your light because it is going to be a beautiful light and people are going to need glasses when they're looking at it because it's so
Oh,
bright. That's
I
what I would
like.
say.
I love it.
That yeah.
And what about Miss Stevie?
Girl,
Talk to her. Talk to her. Talk to Miss Stevie. What about Miss
you
Stevie?
are something else in these.
Yes.
I'm 31 in these pictures. 31 in these pictures. These are most recent. And I would tell Miss Stevie in these pictures, you have done it. You are encouraging people. You are bold. You are unapologetic. You are fearless. And you do it in a way where it's so revolutionary, so different that people can relate to it. And they themselves, too, are coming into their own boldly, whether it may be intersex, pan, trans, however you identify. Baby, just know, look up and continue to look up. And this is where I have fully became confident as a woman, walking into my own womanhood in those pictures. And that's 31 years old now. I'm 32. So it's just like face
Yes.
card never declined. And
Yes.
someone said it.
Mhm.
You went from handsome to, okay, becoming to now beautiful. So it's like different
Yes.
stages of my life. Yeah.
There, there you have it. All right. Well said. Could never said it any better. But I thank you so much for actually understanding the assignment and really giving each person in your transition, each person their flowers, really what they needed to hear at that moment. So thank you for that, Miss Stevie. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I really do. That was well said. But now I want to
Yeah.
know, like, I want to get more into your actual transition, because you said at 13, you and your mom had that conversation about you
Yeah.
like it prefer, your preferences, right? So before we get to that, what do you identify as? I want to make sure I establish that.
I identify as trans, non binary. But see, this is the thing. There's been a whole conversation circulating around about how non binary people are not trans. Yes, they are trans. And if
Hmm.
you go and you look at conversations with, I love her to death. Shout outs to Hope Giselle.
India.
She broke it
Oh,
down elaborately because there are so many things, with gender and what it's supposed to look like and who's supposed to be a woman and who's supposed to be this. Non-binary people can identify however they want to under the spectrum. It's in their eyes. So
okay.
I identify as that, but more
Okay.
woman than anything.
Oh,
Her
yes.
pronoun.
Absolutely. Because I thought you meant we was using a reference. I thought you were gonna say, what's her name? India, the one from Pose, Angel from Pose. I thought you were gonna say
Yes,
her.
India Moore. That's
India
another good
Moore.
example as well.
Yeah.
And pansexual. For those of you who are out there who don't know what that is we're in this category of breaking it
Yes.
down.
Yes. Yeah. Break it down.
Brady just came out of
Yes.
pansexual. So
Hmm.
I mean, gender freedom of expression. You are free to identify and express yourself in any way, and no one can take that away from you. So trans, non-binary,
Trans non-binary. What are your pronouns?
she, her, and
She, her.
Faith. I got a story to tell you about that.
Okay.
Because when I was doing one of my interviews on the show, one of my guests did the respectful thing. And this is what everybody needs to do. If you're not sure of what someone's pronouns are, ask them. It was a gentleman, it was an actor, not going to say his name, but he asked me before we went on, what pronouns would you prefer? And I said, she, her. He said, boom, say less. That's the respectful thing to do is ask
Yeah.
someone without just jumping up and saying. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, she, her, Miss Stevie,
Mhm.
transgender, non-binary. Duly noted. Now, I just want to get more into your transition because, like I said before, at 13. So, when did you know that you wanted to change your assignment, so to speak? That you knew that this is not Jay was not where you wanted to be or who you were. How did that process go? I
Gro-
wanted to establish the process.
Yeah, growing up like that. Oh my
Hmm.
God. Watching my mom. My mom is always the blueprint is always the woman who's raised you, my mother. Watching her, she would get her hair done, she would get her makeup done. And that's then where I'm just like, I don't feel like I'm in the right body. I don't feel like I'm one of the other boys or kids per se. I feel something is very different about 13 years old. And I went and I would talk to my mom about these funny feelings that I'm having. She's just like, as any, you're different. There's something different about you. And that doesn't make you any other different than the other kids, except that you are your own authentic self. And so watching my mom get ready, put her makeup on, because my mom would wear makeup at the time, her foundation and a little lipstick. My sister too, she would get her hair done for prom or whatever. But she's just graduating high school, already out.
Oh,
So
okay.
me coming into my own, it was through them. They were the catalyst for me. My sister and my mom were the catalyst for me to say, okay, this is not this person right here is not. And it's time for me to walk into my life and be who I am. So at 13 years old was when I came out, when I started slowly discovering myself. I started wearing makeup. and I would have to hurry up. I can remember I could tell you guys stories about that as well too, because it was so funny. Faith coming home from beauty school, I would have to, because my mom would check my face every day. She let me see your face. I would wear makeup even in high school, and in that picture you could tell from high school
Right.
I would wearing makeup, a little bit of gloss, and then the
Mm.
brows were very pencil thin, hideous by the way. I wouldn't do that ever again. But I would always have to hurry up if I'm going to beauty school or whatever. And thank God we got water in there and washed my face so that mom wouldn't tell that I was wearing makeup. Sorry, mommy, if you're seeing this. But yes, now she just doesn't care. When she sees the makeup on me, she's just like, make my face up like that. So now
Wow.
we have a good rapport. She sees the makeup on me, and now it's just like, do my face up if I'm going somewhere. Because I did her makeup for a class reunion, and she got a
Oh,
bunch of compliments.
and she got and
A
she
lot.
served it up. Yeah.
Yes.
So
So she gave
yeah.
the assignment. She's like, this is the precursor right here. So 13 years old was the precursor for me transitioning, coming into my own, having conversations with my mom, watching her being the catalyst, being the blueprint for me. Because let's be real, every trans person or non binary person or any queer person has a catalyst that has come before them. And it can be
Right.
your mom, it can be your father, watching certain things that they would do. And it was my mom and my sister for me, watching them get their hair and makeup done. And that's how I studied and perfected my craft with doing hair and makeup artistry and fashion. And my mom now is like, you can't keep her out of certain things. We share outfits now, Faith. So she
Wow.
raids my closet, girl.
Mhm.
And I raid her sometimes. So it's amazing to have such a great connection and rapport with young people
Yes.
after talking with them, because let's keep it a buck. As you said earlier, it's not easy for children who are in the LGBTQIA plus community, because 9 times out of 10, their parents will disown them, that they
Yes.
find out they are, or they feel like a failure, or they haven't done something right, you know? So that wasn't the case for me. I was thankful to have my mother there supporting, but as for my father, it was a complete difference.
Totally different. Totally
Yeah,
different. But how did you know, Miss Stevie? Okay, I know you mentioned about, you use your mother and your sister as a model
yeah.
of what you wanted to become, but how did you know at that time? I just want to kind of get your more into your thought processes. How did you know that you wanted to be a girl? Like you wanted to become
I always wanted to be a girl.
like how did you know? Like it's
Watching.
had to be something that really like not just, you watching your mom, but it had to be something on your own thought process to say, you know what, this is not my assignment, or this is not where who I am, or I want to become this girl. Like, what was the thought process at that time? Like, how did you know? How did you figure that out?
My femininity, my internal femininity on the inside. I noticed that I wasn't like other boys at that time. I'm like, okay, they're playing sports. I don't really like sports like that. At one point in time, like I said, I played soccer, but here I am now in middle school. I like arts and crafts, and that doesn't mean anything for anybody. Anybody can like arts and crafts, but you're just like, it's something inside you that is different. You like makeup, you're coloring your hair. That doesn't mean anything to you. So you're checking off all of the check marks. And it's just like, in your heart, deep down inside, I knew I was destined to be a woman, because I have the heart of a woman, the soul of a woman, of a girl at that time. Not a girl, not a woman, but a girl at that time. You're walking into your own femininity, and then you're slowly coming out of that shift. So I came out around that time as well too, and my mom was just like, "Hey, you got it from here." So
Mm,
that's just from inside, just from my mind, my thoughts. I would write about these things, and I can remember going back and looking at my journal entries, like, okay, from then to now, what is it? What is it that makes you want to be a woman? Is it because you feel women get better treatment? Is it because you don't feel as though you're in the right body? And for me, it was like I felt I was in the wrong body, and still do to this day. Anybody can suffer from gender dysmorphia. But those of you who
yes.
don't know what that is, where it's just like you feel born. You see these stories where people say, I don't feel like I'm in the right body. I don't feel you know, like I'm normal. And for me, that was the case. I suffered with gender dysmorphia,
Mm,
and always to feel accepted for people. So I'm just like, if I became a woman, I would probably be accepted. But they were just like, we could love you less. We don't care if you're a man, woman, whatever, dog, cat. We love and appreciate.
And that is
And
so
I'm so
commendable.
thankful to have people in my life. And I think every queer person out there, surround yourself with people who uplift you and want the best for you. And at the time, that's something that I left out. I didn't tell you, Faith. You were like, who were the people that helped? We had a guidance counselor at middle school. Shout outs to Miss Thomas. And I would always go and talk with her about all of my different emotions and feelings. And she was not only a guidance counselor, but she was a psychiatrist as well too.
Okay, okay.
And you go and you talk with a psychiatrist, and they get in your head and they ask you the same questions that Faith is asking, like, what made you want to do this? Why do you feel this way? And I would just go and pour into her. And shout outs to Miss Thomas. Mm, I don't know where she is right now, but
Mm,
she has been a beacon, a support system. My
mm,
mom has too. It's amazing to be surrounded by Black women who know how you feel and who support you throughout the process. I just got through having a conversation with my aunt about pronouns as well too. And they were like, you didn't have to tell us anything. We already knew. Just like Faith said,
mm.
they already knew.
I already
Women
knew.
know these
Yes.
things.
Yeah.
Woman's intuition. They know these things. So for me, I would have to say it's like an intuition. You were destined to be a woman. And you heard Cherry the Boom say this when she did her conversation with T.S. Madison on the same thing that Faith is asking, which is, I'm gonna pray to God because I don't want any Christmas presents. I don't want anything. I just want to be, because I know deep down inside in my heart I'm a woman. It's time for me to walk into that light, into that path. I don't want anything in the world. I just want to be able to walk into my woman and tap into. And that's not a crime. It's not a crime for anybody to tap into however they feel. So
Right.
walk in it. If you feel in your heart that you are a woman and you present yourself as such and you go through step by step, you surround yourself with people and they are uplifting you and encouraging you along your journey, go for it. Don't let anybody
Mm.
tell you you shouldn't belong or you don't feel because you're not. The whole conversation lately has been about who's passable, who's not passable, who's woman enough.
Right.
Who are you to tell somebody that they can't be a woman or they can't be a woman or you're doing this for this? No, deep down inside, for me, I knew it was intuition, it was instinct. At 13 years old, I knew that.
When did you start your transition? Can you, if you don't mind me asking, like, when did this start for you? Because I know at 13 you couldn't actually, you know, transform at that time because you were too young. But
Yeah,
yeah, so
middle
what was that
school,
process like?
going
Like,
into.
what some of the things did you do? Like, what type of procedures did you do?
Oh, I didn't do any procedures. I started changing my style. That's what I did. I started changing
Oh,
up my style and going into it. And people would just give me compliments left and right. They noticed that and then I've started standing up for myself more as well too. Started standing up for myself as well. And they noticed a shift like, wow, something different about you. I'm like, yeah, I'm not how I was in middle school. Walked all over, teased, bullied. No, we're not doing that. And so right after high school was when I graduated and I just fully became Miss. The style
got
has
you.
definitely changed. Everything, my whole persona, my whole outlook on life, because you here I am 20 years old. Now with this platform that is just in the beginning stages, and I have no idea how it's gonna be and how people were gonna receive me. And what's so crazy, Faith, is people from my high school, my classmates are looking at those pictures and they're just like, my God, we see the difference now. We see it.
Oh, okay. But
They're
let me go
happier.
back. Oh, I'm sorry. Now I was gonna ask you, you said you didn't have any procedures, so because when I think of trans, I think of,
Yeah,
you're
procedures.
adding.
And that's not the case with everybody. Like the hormones
Okay.
and all of that. I don't
Oh,
do that.
hormones, right.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's not the case for you?
Mm-mm.
You're
No.
not even with the
And
hormones?
then
No?
I'm in the red state of South Carolina, so affirming care down here is banned in my state. So I
Mm.
choose to dress in the light of how I present, you know. Yeah.
Okay, and, don't please don't take no offense to this. I was just asking
Yeah.
because I know there's a difference between, being transgender and doing drag. So do you have people that have that pushback and saying, well, if you haven't done anything, you haven't transformed, like why would you identify as transgender if you haven't went through the process or anything?
Right. And that's the case with some people. But for
Mm.
me, I look at it as this: drag is putting on and taking off.
Okay.
Trans is what I walk into every day. Because
Okay.
even when I go out in the world, I try to make sure that I present myself as woman. And people, I'm gonna tell y'all a funny story. So my brother had a doctor's appointment one day. Oh, that's a good question.
It
I
is.
was reading the question,
Mhm.
but
Yeah. Mhm.
let me try not to get sidetracked. All
Okay,
right.
go get it. Yeah,
So
we'll get back to it.
yeah, doing drag, the differences between the two. Yes, there are drag performers out here who identify as trans or come out as non-binary. I think what was it? The most recent,
Mm.
uh, I can't remember. Was it Bob the Drag Queen? One of the two that just came out as
Yes.
uh
I
yes,
think
as
it's that.
trans or
Mhm.
non-binary, whatever. You can do that. Gender is not a monolith in the queer community. You can identify however you want to identify. And it's not doing drag for me, it's not cross dressing, it's not anything. It is presenting myself how I see myself, and that is as woman. And that's how the world sees me, even when I show up. But the story that I was going to tell you guys was uh, the bathroom situation. And so the receptionist at the front desk, she asked me, because I had on a hat, I wasn't as Miss Stevie, it's early in the morning, 9 a.m.,
Mhm.
and I'm at my doctor's with my doctor's appointment with my brother. And so I went in there to use the restroom, and the woman, the receptionist, she was like, which restroom, men's, women's? Like she wasn't sure what to identify me as. And then when I went in the Chinese place, y'all, and again, the same hat, it was a very feminine looking hat. You know, like how Diane Carroll on Dynasty, that type of hat, like a
Yes.
little to the side number. And the woman was like, okay, it was a woman sitting down. She had already ordered her food. I came in to get my order and everything. And she was like, oh no, I'm before her. So she didn't even have to ask. Didn't
Right.
even
She
have to
knew.
ask,
She
didn't know
knew.
me. She knew. Again, women's intuition. So people pick up on those things. I could go in the grocery store and have on a hat, anything. People will instantly know. So
Okay.
there are some trans people and non-binary people who are not fortunate. And it puts them in a dangerous situation because that's where the whole question and conversation about passability comes in. Who's passable, who's not passable, who looks more like this, who looks more like that. That's when
True.
it becomes dangerous because it's just like you're outing someone. And once that person finds out, we know that there is an increase on violence against trans, non binary, and
Yes.
pan in the
Yes.
United States of America, especially Black trans women. So we have to definitely take that serious and keep
Absolutely.
ringing the alarm bells on it. So trans non-binary, and no, I didn't have any operations, no surgery. I just started dressing into my own. So
Got it.
people who are, non-binary or gender non-conforming, whatever, they bend the rules to their extent or whatever they prefer. There's nothing wrong with that. You can do. So yeah.
Oh yeah. So can you answer that question for me?
Y'all think morality and family values are destroyed by social media and exposure towards one's sexuality? Ooh, oh my God, Jesus. That's a loaded question right
It
there.
is. It is.
And then and it touched it. You said morality and family values, as Faith said in the beginning of this conversation, which is the nuclear family. Growing up in the South, it is the heart of the Bible Belt. Let's keep it a buck.
Yes.
We know that your parents, if you have a parent or your mom, dad, whoever, who are deeply involved in the church, your great grandmother, all the way going back then, they were told, this is wrong, this is a sin. So I don't think people will be ever to get past that. I don't think people will
Right.
ever be able to get past that by looking into someone else's uh, door without looking into their own. I don't think people will ever be able to get past
No, I don't think so either because I think that the ideologies are going to remain what they are. No
And
matter
it's
what.
always been.
It's some
If you
it's
go,
progression there.
yeah.
You know,
And
but
people are making, we're seeing churches now affirm queer people.
Yeah.
So shout
Hmm.
out to the churches that are affirming us in the LGBTQIA plus community that are out here not only affirming us, but we're there in the choirs. We're
Oh
there
yes,
working and
always.
preaching and having our own churches. So shout outs to my colleague Bubs the God. Maybe he can elaborate on it a little bit more. Because I mean, I've touched on it in some of my past panels and conversations on the show, which is nobody should judge anybody. Nobody has any room to judge anybody on how they choose to worship God. And I say this also as well too. I'm gonna shake the table a little.
Okay.
You can be in the queer community and you can still worship God because who are you to judge your neighbor? Who are you to judge your neighbor? Like, let's keep it a buck here. Like,
Yeah.
everybody has their own sins. We all have our own sins.
Yes,
And
I
when
was gonna
we
say we
go
all born
and
into
when it's
sin.
time for us
Hmm.
to go sit down with the believer, we all are going to have to face our own judgment day sooner or later.
Yes,
So we have no room to judge anybody.
absolutely. Because you're going to have those Christians, people are going to have maintain a Bible-based beliefs, and so they still are going to relate homosexuality to Sodom and Gomorrah, which it doesn't have anything to do with it. They're going to always reference homosexuality when it's saying about it being an abomination, but they don't realize is that homosexuality in the Bible, it wasn't referencing same sex. It was more elestation, you know,
Yeah,
SA type of thing, not, you know, PDF files, It was in that
exactly.
reference, so I think a lot of people don't, they kind of read into certain scriptures, and don't really understand the context of it, So, but I do appreciate your aspect. But I'm glad that you brought up the whole thing about, answering that question, and also going into certain spaces, public spaces, because I want to get more into that. Because Jade and I talked about this as well about what. Now I want to get your aspect of what do you think about transgender in sports? Because we saw like the story about how the transgender woman was stripped of her title, because it was found out that she was trans. So do you think it's fair that trans women are taking accolades from bio women, in that sense?
Oh, God. Ooh. Okay, and we're seeing the whole conversation with she's not in sports, but she's a singer. I forgot her name. And there's been a whole issue with the bathroom as well. That ties into this as well.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say this. No one is trying to gatekeep or take away anybody's femphobia. No, no, their femininity, I meant to say. Nobody's trying to take away anything from biological women. Trans women are just saying we're here, we exist. We're human as well too. Trans people, trans women, trans men, we're just saying we're here, we exist. So nobody's trying to strip anybody of any titles, of anything. And if anything, this is why queer people create our own spaces. This is exactly why I created Style by Stevie. And I want to give a shout out and plug my colleagues. And Faith just had my brother Demario King Jobs on the platform not too long ago, who is a
Mhm.
big advocate in the LGBTQIA plus. And if not King Jobs, then you have my other colleague, Conscious TV. You have my other colleague, Bubs the God. You have my other colleague, Alvin Tit for Tat, this and that. I mean, it's so many of us. We're not a monolith. And there's more than enough room for us to create our own spaces. So it puts us in a dangerous situation, each and every one of us that in the trans community in a dangerous situation where people say we're taking biological women's rights away from them. Because that's how this election was won. If you go back and you look at it, he won off of transphobia. It's trans women in men's sports. It was a commercial that said you have biological men and women's sports. And this is coming from someone who's on the Republican side saying these
Mm.
things. So he won off of fear. And when you can get T.S. Madison, she said it so chef's kiss. She said it beautifully. When you can get people to align themselves on the same side of bigotry to say that it's the trans people that are
True.
taking over women's
True.
everything, then that puts a target on our back where there's already a target. Because Black trans women of color in America are the most The stats are very high for trans women who have lost their lives. And not just trans women, but trans men. Tony McDade is an example, and so many others. So when you put that target on all trans people and say they're taking over the sports, they're doing this, they're doing that, and it's not the trans people, it puts us all in a dangerous situation. So those are my thoughts on it. I say create
Okay.
your own craft. And I think even T.S. Madison said something to the
Mhm.
extent of, I'm not into sports, I'm into fashion. And I love you too, brother. Shout outs to my brother K2. Uh, yes, and I mean, they pulled it out of me, y'all. She giving me all because I've touched on
Yes.
things like this in my show, and even on some of the panels, like when you put a blanket statement on, even with the whole Tish Hyman, that's her name, Tish Hyman, when
Yes.
she went
Hmm.
and she made the statement saying that, oh well, there's men and women's locker room. First of all, Alexis is not a man. She's been transitioning since February. She's already been on moans and everything. She has the breasts, she has everything. So, no, she's not a man. And if Gold's Jim didn't have a problem with it, why do you have a problem? That's where we have a problem with what's called, how can I say it? What's the word I'm looking
But how do you
for? It's called, yeah. Go ahead.
was it you?
I'm
It's
sorry.
called what? It's called what? I mean, what should what,
Femphobia, fear of anything that is
info?
feminine or feminine presenting. Yes,
Yeah,
femphobia.
okay.
And
No, I was
it's
going to ask you
dangerous.
how. Yeah, how do you?
Yeah.
Because it's people. Especially women. They have. They rightfully are fearful of this climate. Especially when it comes to
Yes.
public and being around children in public bathrooms and all that stuff. So how do you? What is your advice? What is your advice for those women and those families out there who are? How do you act? What's your assurance for them? What kind of assurance would you be able to provide for them? Those out there with children out there and people, because anybody could identify as one thing, and and they are end up being in harm's way. So I think
Girl,
that's
that part.
yeah.
Let me affirm to the biological women or any woman that trans people are not the enemy. We're not, and I've said this on my colleague Bubs the God's platform, Conscious TV's platform as well. Too. Trans people, we're not your enemy. LGBT people, we're not your enemy. If anything, the people who are, and I won't dive into that too far. If you've watched some of my past shows, you know how I feel about that.
Yes. Yes.
The people who are in power right now are the people that we should be up against, both of us, trans, biological, LGBT, straight, however you identify, because none of this is good what they're doing. It's hurting all of us in the end result, and they use trans people as the scapegoat for your fear.
Mm,
Now you fear trans people. Now you fear anything that is other, that is not straight, that is not male. So when you can get a bunch of people all to align on the same page of bigotry, you got a problem on your hands because it's not trans people. If you sit back and you look at it, and even shout outs to her, Jasmine Crockett,
mm,
Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett even said it.
mhm.
Trans people are not doing half of the things that y'all are out here saying that they're doing. We're not harming children or people in the bathrooms. We have to pee too, just like anybody else. So we're not out here harming you. Hell, we can even teach you how to um, touch up your makeup. They did that with Congresswoman Sarah McBride, who's in Congress. Nancy Mace from my city of South Carolina made a whole deal about Sarah McBride, and now they're trying to ban this woman from using the bathroom. So
Wow.
this is how far they've taken it. They're making it in legislature. In Texas, there's a bathroom ban for trans, and they almost at one point wanted to make it illegal for people identify
Ugh.
as trans. So this is how far Republicans are willing to take it. They are willing to use us as the catalyst because people thought that it was just us that they were going to do away with. They were going to take away our rights, queer people. But no, they're coming for each and every one of us. So I want women who are watching to understand this, that we have a very big fish to fry, and it's
Right.
not trans people problem. It's not queer people that's the problem. We are all in the same boat together. And that same boat, we are all under the umbrella of patriarchy, trans misogynoir,
Mm,
misogynoir, misogyny, racism. We're all in that boat together. So it's not all
Yes.
of us. But you know what they
Right.
say? One bad apple spoils the bunch, faith. One of us in the
Yeah.
trans community does something, and it points a finger to all of us in the trans community. And that's very dangerous because it's not all
True.
of us. It's just that
Right.
one person.
True. So let me ask, because and I'm glad you got into the whole political aspect, because you
Yeah.
post a lot and you speak a lot passionately about politics. And that's not totally my lane. I'm not as savvy as Miss Stevie, but I want to kind of dive a little bit into that because I'm glad you got into that because you got in trouble on Instagram, by the way. For your political stance. So I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry that happened to you, Miss Stevie. Yeah. So
Yeah, I got put in Instagram jail,
yeah,
girl.
you got
It's
in
like a
jail.
year. It's
Oh yeah,
yes.
yeah. I'm like, wow, that's harsh. But I want to ask you, so say we have Miss Stevie for president. What are some of the key things that we have to be aware of? What are some of the key things that we need to be aware of right now in this climate? What are some of the key things that we need to look out for? What are some of the key things that we need to try to come unify in order to improve on and make it to legislation? So Stevie for president, make your speech. Go.
What I would say is I want universal health care for each and every one of us. I want each and every one of us to be able to afford a decent living because I know if you're in the Atlanta area, they're raising the
Mm,
power rates up there. You're having to pay higher electric bills. The same down here for South Carolina. That's something that I would do. I would help lower costs. He ran off of wanting to lower costs, but I would actually do something about it. What else would I do? I would make sure that everybody is getting gender affirming care in the trans community. My brothers and sisters are getting gender affirming care. I would also make sure that farmers are taken care of. Farmers, we're
oh
seeing them suffer. We're
yes,
seeing a lot of people
yes,
suffer right now.
yes.
So people who got laid off, I would actually make sure that they have gotten paid. They've gotten rehired back on their jobs. uh, I would make sure that the job rates, the economic report, all of that, it would go up instead of going down. Because as we're seeing
Mhm.
right now, the economy is not doing what it's supposed to do. And if you're going to campaign on a promise, you make sure you keep that promise. I'm the type of person when it comes to when it comes to things politics, I make sure that I do research. I make sure that I highlight every key issue that I think everyone should be focused on. And right now, it's affordability. Everyone is trying to everyone is having to take either two or three jobs
Yes,
to provide
and
for their families.
and that
So the
shouldn't
key
be.
thing for me
Mm-mm.
would be affordability. You'd be able to afford a home. It should be 30-year mortgage, not 50-year mortgage. He
Oh,
wants to do
right,
50-year.
right.
So I'm like, what world are we living in? So if I was to run for president, I said I would never run, but faith dragged it out of me. Those are the things that I would work on, that I would want people to have is affordability. You being able to afford a car, afford a home, your children being fed at school lunch programs, they did away with that, making sure that your foods are safe. They now put pesticides in, making it
Yeah.
dangerous
Mm.
for our
Yes,
foods. So those are things that I would make sure that are taken care of. We be prepared if a storm is coming, all of these things. If
yes.
I was the president, I make sure that everything. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, alrighty. Well, let's vote for Miss Stevie for president. Dun, 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 dun. Who will style you, by the way? Like, if you were able to have a stylist like of your own during your campaign, who would style you? Who's your dream stylist?
Oh, I would say La Roche. La Roche. She's
Oh,
worked with Zendaya,
yes,
Celine
yes.
Dion. So I know we're gonna go back into the archives because I am a archives girl. I love vintage, Jean Paul Gaultier, Chanel,
Ah,
Mugler. He can get that.
yeah,
La Roche can get that. If not him, then Cardi B's stylist Colin. Like Colin be having Cardi looking all
yeah,
sorts of put together.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
it would be out of those. Yeah.
All right, so I want to get more into, some lighter stuff. Your 20th season, 20th,
Yes.
20 years. And so what do you got lined up? What do you got planned for your 20th season, Miss Stevie? What are some of the things?
we've got some amazing guests coming on. Of course, I'm still writing with the magazine, but season 20 for me is a huge milestone. Girl, we are 914 interviews in, baby,
Wow, that is
and we
amazing.
still going. So when we reach that 1,000 mark, my brother K Toops, who's here watching, just hit his 1K mark. I'm like, K Toops, I'm trying to catch up with you. How you get to 1,000 shows?
Hey,
So
congratulations.
we got a lot of work, and I have not since then. Yes, Miss Stevie for president. Oh, thank y'all. Thank y'all. Yeah, and I'm not talking to just talking to talk. He talked the talk. He ran off a campaign, lowering the costs and everything. And yes, K Tooks is coming on 20th season, but I would actually do something. I want to do something. So 20 season 20 will be the season where we are doing something where it's an action to cause. I might start even bringing some of the audience members up to hear their take. So
Oh,
it's going to be
okay.
pretty fun. Season 20 is going to be more interactive. I'm very interactive in the comments under the post with you guys. Whenever I
Yes.
post something that's political informing you, I'm always doing that. But I might actually start bringing the audience up with the guests, and they get to answer a few questions as well too. So
Nice.
we're going to make it more interactive, more fun. Season 20, of course, the fashions are going to be top notch. Working on
Yes.
that,
Mhm. Oh,
looking
oh,
forward to it.
oh my
I
goodness.
can't believe it. Yes.
Yes. I'm like, I'm excited for you because I'm like, I just could imagine the fact the looks that you're going to be given. I wonder, did you ever do meet and greets, or would you do any of meet and greets?
You know what? I've been asked that question. Someone when I was doing one of my conversations asked me that question as well too. What about meet and greets? What about in person? Oh my
Yes.
God, Jesus, Jesus! I would love to. I would love to. And in fact, me and my mom have been talking about it. So hopefully, a live in person style
Live
by
show. I was
Steve
going to say live show, like
live
Fat
show.
Talk. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
who
So
knows?
you are considering it.
Yes, and writing. That's something else that I want to do as well too, is
Real.
write on
Okay.
other people's platforms. Of course, Style by Stevie, I can run that. That's water under the bridge. But I would like to write. I would like to produce. I would like to direct on other people's talk shows and platforms. So that's something that I'm
Oh.
looking to tap into as well too.
I can see you doing that too. Yes. Yeah, we got to make that happen for you, Miss Stevie. Yeah, that's something definitely I see you doing. Absolutely. So now, so your 20th, other than your 20th season, what else you have going on for you, Miss Stevie? What else you got going on?
More fabulous interviews.
Yes,
Original
yes.
magazine, Love Hollywood magazine. Being able to write for this publication is a dream come true. And my shout outs to my boss lady Nikki Sola. She says it's not Vogue, but I love how the magazine is put together because you have okay, you got Andrea on health and beauty. You got me in the fashion department. You've got Mike over here working on entertainment arts, special effects. You've got Lejean. You've got so many people in each category, and we're all across the world. You know, and her publications in the UK. Mick, shout outs to our boss lady Mick. But us in the United States, coming from different walks of life, being able to provide our collective, and I say this every time, it's like a collective gumbo. So more of that, more appearances on other people's platforms.
Yes.
I know I've got another appearance because it's going to be promo season for me this
Yes.
year
Mhm.
because 2025 is flew by so fast. So doing promo
Yes.
for season 20 in the new year of 2026, which is when we will return, and we will be back next month as well too. Of course, right here on YouTube because I'm like Faith said, you guys know I'm already in IG jail. I don't get out for a whole year.
That's
um,
bad.
yes, but that's what I have coming in the future. And you guys can catch me also on some of my colleagues' panels. Now's the time, and me have been doing a lot of collaborations on my show, of course, as well. And people look forward to hearing our chemistry and how he's in New York and I'm down here in South Carolina. So you're getting it both sides of the coin, how we're feeling about everything in both parts of the world. So that. And then you guys can also catch me on Tit for Tat, this and that. My colleague Alvin. I'll tell Alvin, okay, it's time to set up a panel. Let's do a panel. And he'll catch me on there. Or sometimes with my Conscious TV, my shout outs to Conscious. Conscious
Mhm.
is just so brilliant at what he
Yes.
does with being able to
Yes.
provide a space where everyone and no one is judged or discriminated against or anything, where we can all come together collectively. You might catch me on conscious TVs because you know my voice. My voice is so distinct. You know it right
Yes.
off the bat, right off the get go. And People love it. They love looking forward to my political commentary on things. If not that, then my fashion comment.
Yeah, all of it, all those things. So yeah, so we're all looking forward to what you got going on for this next upcoming year, Miss Stevie. But I wanted to have a little fun with you, Miss Stevie. You know, we
Okay.
got we unpacked so much, but I want to have a little bit of fun. So I try to, you know, get a little this or that.
Here they come, yo. Here they come.
This or that. So I just, put some stuff out there and you have to give me either or. You can't plead the fifth. You can't say both. You got to choose one or
Okay.
the other. Okay. And it could be anything. It's not any particular category, no particular order, random stuff, random stuff. All right. So fashion or politics?
Ooh.
I know. I know. I started already. I know.
And I love both I love both
Just-
because I do believe
yeah.
that fashion can be political. You can make a political statement,
Don't
but
try
I
it.
would have to say my first love, fashion, my first
Oh,
love. That is always going to be my first love. But I'm always going to look stylish while fighting for the
absolutely.
greater good.
Yeah. No way
Yes,
around it. No way around it. Okay. So apple pie or sweet potato pie?
girl. Now you know I love me some sweet potato pie. And what's so crazy is we got some in the house here. I didn't even open it. Sweet potato pie.
Okay. So I'm gonna be a little messy. Um Bubs the God or Kenneth Tukes?
Ooh, oh, what you mean, like to work with,
What
or
like it's just overall, their platforms, their your relationship with them, your collaboration, association, all of
okay?
that. Overall.
I would say I'm just gonna say it, K2. Bubs, and I'm gonna use this as
Shout
an
out to Bubs.
example.
Shout out to Bubs.
Um, oh my God, I'm choosing my brother K2, but Bubs, let me tell you about that one right there. Oh my God. He will do certain things, and I'm pretty sure everybody has caught off the gist of our banter on the panels and everything. He will
Mhm.
make funny faces. Bubs is petty. He is funny. And I'll be trying to make a point, and he will make funny faces to throw me off. So with K Toops knows how to turn it on and turn it off. But Bubs is gonna get me in trouble if we were in class right now. He gonna, yeah,
Oh, okay.
we be in
Oh,
trouble
y'all
together.
be clowning. Okay. Yeah, I know I got you with that one. Okay. Um, I'm at Nelson J. Davis or DC Chambers.
Oh, and I love them both. They're so talented. But I gotta choose one. Oh my God.
Yep. Hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna go with the Carolinas. I like Nelson. Nelson and me, we've done several
He's the
interviews
king of
together.
the.
I
I
love
know you
DC.
have. Yes,
Yes,
I'm trying to get him on. I'm trying to get him on too. So we trying to work. We're working that out. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to him coming on. Yeah, shout out to Nelson and DC. Shout out to both. Yeah, and
girl.
so pineapple or kiwi?
Pineapple. I'm a pineapples girl. Like I have to have my bowl of pineapples. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna take you just a little bit back. So Keith Sweat or I'll be sure.
Ooh, I'll be sure.
I'll be sure.
The debut album, I'll be sure for sure. Yes.
What's your favorite I'll be sure song?
Right now. Right now. And then of course Night and Day. Night
Right
and Day. Yeah.
now, baby. Oh yeah, that's an underground hit. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Wow, you actually dug that one up right now. Wow. Okay. All right. So okay, I'm gonna give it to you now. James Cleveland or Timothy Wright.
Ooh. Oh my God. Let's go with Timothy Wright.
Mhm. Yeah, and what's your favorite Timothy Wright song?
Oh my God. I cannot remember it right off the bat because I just heard it playing on the radio. I was listening to music while I was getting ready. My
Okay.
favorite Timothy song. So it'll come back to me. It'll come
Yeah,
back to
a-
me.
at the
Kind
at
of
the moment,
funny.
yeah, because it could change, and it could change. But all right. So Cupid by 112 or Gotta Be by Jagged Edge.
Ooh, Cupid by 112. And I had the pleasure of sitting with them. So that's the
Really?
one that
You
I will
have? I
always
don't think.
remember.
Oh, you gotta send me that. I didn't know you guys sat with
Yeah,
them.
I got to send it to you. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that is so cool. Yeah, was it just the 2 of them or 4 of them?
It was, well, I interviewed Q, yeah,
Okay.
solo with Q, and then I
Yes.
did Mike and Slim. So
Oh,
we,
t okay.
but I haven't gotten Duran yet. I still trying to get Duran
Oh,
on the show.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now speaking of them, 112 or Boys to Men?
Ooh, that's a tough one. We're going back to the 90s.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm gonna take you a little bit. Take it back a little, just a little bit, just a little bit.
Oh my God, Jesus. I'm gonna have to go with 112. They when I sat with them, that if you're in the Atlanta area, you know about that Southern hospitality
Mhm.
all the way. So it's that downhearted Southern hospitality for me. And these boys come from Georgia. So 112 for me.
Okay, okay. Nightgowns or pajamas?
Nightgowns. Now my
Oh,
mom would do pajama pants sometimes, but me, I love nightgowns. I don't know. I don't like to have a whole lot on my legs when I'm
me either.
sleeping. So
Me
nightgowns for me.
either. Mm-mm. Okay, so you and I are both parallel on that. So last one, Law Roach or Jay Bolin?
Oh, Jay Bolin for sure. I love La Roche. I would love for La
Yes,
Roche to dress me one day. But Jay Bolin has been out here killing it. I'm pretty sure everyone has
yes.
seen Total on
Total.
Cameron's
Ooh,
show, the
he's
coat that
yes,
they wore.
yes.
So Jay Bolin, and he
He is
did
not playing.
SWV as well too. So
Yes,
Jay Bolin,
yes. All right, but thank you so much. Good job, Miss Stevie. What you were good at this. You're good at this. So, I just want to ask like two final questions before we wrap up. Um, so I love the answer that I get here. So, Miss Stevie, if you had 5 people, you have the opportunity to have 5 people at the seat of your table, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
for the first one, I would have to say for the blueprint for me to do what I do was Marsha P. Johnson.
Mm,
And I say her because she laid out a groundwork for each and every one of us in the queer community to be able to live and walk and exist and breathe and celebrate our authenticity and exist in a world where they're telling us, no, you don't belong here. So she would be number one. The second would be uh, Nina Simone.
oh,
And I felt like with Nina was misunderstood. Of course, a black woman growing up and she's saying, I have to leave the country because I don't feel I'm welcome here because of the color of my skin. So Nina Simone would be number two. Number three, who's another outlaw or outcast? It will be Left Eye from TLC. And I feel like the
wow,
fiery spirit that she has is the same fiery spirit that I have. And so we both would bounce off of each other's energy. So
got
that's
it.
for sure. Number four, I would have to say Jennifer Lewis. And you
Oh,
guys know I love Jackie's Back
oh
and you
my God.
lit spirit,
Yes, yes.
that energy, the auntie that's going to
I
come
love
and
that
cut
woman.
up and show out. So Jennifer Lewis for sure. And
Yes.
number five, oh, it would be a dream come true to interview her, T.S. Madison.
Oh, y'all
T.S.
didn't.
Madison.
Oh wow, y'all haven't been in this space together yet?
I've had Craig on the show, I've had Chi Chi on the show, but never Madison.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, Maddie, you got to make that happen. Oh yes. Oh, that will be. Oh wow, that will be a time. Wow. Yeah, you definitely got to make
Yeah.
that happen, Miss Stevie. Absolutely.
With
Are you?
Madison and
Yeah.
Jennifer Lewis, they both are, how
Right.
can I say, lit. I was gonna say
Yes.
Taraji P. Henson. You see her behind the scenes, offset. She's something else. She gonna make you laugh. Maddie gonna make you laugh. Jennifer's gonna make you laugh, and it's gonna be a big ball of fun. So that's what it would
Yes.
consist.
Wow, I love it. Now, who would get the big piece of chicken and why?
It would definitely be Auntie Jennifer Lewis if she ever sees this. It would be Jennifer Lewis.
Yeah, and why?
She is the queen. She is the mother of Black Hollywood. So you
Yes.
always respect your elders who paved the way. And Madison and Jennifer have both paved the way for me to do what I do, which is to be vocal, to be
Right.
outspoken, and to
Yes.
have a platform. So them for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, I like that. Now, this question is taken from the late James Lipton from Inside the Actor Studio. So, Miss
Okay.
Stevie, when you enter into the pearly gates, what would you want God to say?
Well done. Well done.
That's the common one.
You've done what needs to be done, and you continue to do because God uses us as a vessel to connect to people in some sort of
Sure.
way. And
Mhm.
what I want God to say to me when I go up there to the pearly gates is, well done. I know I've done things he's not proud of, but I know the journey is hard. And we're going to get through this. That's what I would
Yes.
say.
Well said. And I want to say too, well done so far because you haven't, you just basically you just getting started. So I mean, just being able to be blessed to be a part of your journey, the smidgen of the time, the last few years, to be a part of your journey, the smidgen of the time was, has been a blessing in itself. Just to kind of see you just kind of go up there and be bold. Because if Bo Statement was a person, Miss Stevie would be that and more than some. So I just want to just give you your flowers, and just let you know that you continue to inspire me more than you know. And I don't know if you really, were aware of that, how much you inspired me since I've started this channel. Yes. So
No,
thank
girl,
you.
I
I
didn't
want to,
know it
yeah.
all. I came in and I watched your interview with DC, watched your interview with Scotty, watched your interview with Demario, and I'm like, she is killing it. She's doing the
Yeah.
damn thing right now. And
And
I
see?
sent you those
Yeah.
flowers after those interviews because you sent me the promo, and I said, "Oh crap, she got Demario coming on the show, King Jive, my brother." So I got to see what's up right here, and you were doing an outstanding job, girl. Keep
Thank
doing it.
Mhm. I thank you. You know how much that means to me. Like that's no, that's like you my mentor just giving me that seal of approval. So that means a lot. You just that means so much to me, Miss Stevie. It really does. So you giving me that badge of honor. I think my head is swollen because this is way out my comfort zone for me. So I just want you to I just would love to get some more advice as far as a new content creator and just based off of what I've given so far. Can you give me some more advice on, as I build this platform?
I don't really have any advice to give you, Faith. You're doing an amazing job.
Oh,
And you
wow.
do it as a hostess. You're supposed to do it from a non-biased standpoint. Answer
Right.
questions that, like some of the questions kind of had me like, ooh, I wasn't expecting that. And
Hmm.
that's what makes a great interviewer is that you have to give people questions that they've never expect. We could say, who inspires you? What's your favorite color? What's,
Yes.
this, that, and the third and the other. But give people questions that make them think. And even with me, when I'm doing my interviews, I give people questions that make them like, whoa, I wasn't expecting this. That I've
Hmm.
never been asked this. This is new to me. And you do that from the interview with King Jobs to the interview with DC. And DC was caught off guard. I'm like, damn, she got DC too,
I
huh?
got him. Right.
So you have to continue to be a catalyst for other journalists out here, for other hosts of their platform as well too. And with me doing Style by Stevie for so long, I get nervous. Yes, I get nervous before
Mhm.
interviews. You guys won't be
Yeah.
able to tell, but
Yes.
continue to
Exactly.
let your light show. Continue to make it fun as you did, and catch people off guard. I love a little surprise too. So that's what you got
Shock
to do,
factor.
girl. That's what makes a great show.
Yes, but ladies and gentlemen, it's Miss Stevie. Miss Stevie in the building. Miss Stevie. Yes, I mean, you just don't know. I was looking forward to this for the longest. As soon as I decided to do this platform, she was one of the first people like that. I was like, okay, let me get her. Let me get Miss Stevie on because I mean, like I said, she's the blueprint. She talked about blueprints and stuff. You're not, give yourself that credit because you are the blueprint for not only for myself, but I'm sure for many others. So you are that blueprint, Miss Stevie. So I just thank you so much for being here. Don't let this be your last time coming
No,
on.
I'm coming back, girl. I'm coming
Okay.
back to face this to something. You gonna step that up.
Yes. Yeah, you better. You better come back, especially because I want more engagement when I start doing panels. Yeah, you're going to be called. I'm going to be contacting you. Don't worry.
For
Yeah,
sure, definitely let me know.
And I'm looking forward to your journey into your 20th season. I'm looking forward to all the guests you're gonna have, all the activities, all the looks. I'm looking forward to all those things too. So, Miss
Yes,
Stevie, thank you so much, and you have a good one.
you too, girl. I had a blast and love y'all all. Thank y'all so much, Fashion Dolls. Thank everybody.
All righty now. Miss Stevie, y'all. Miss Stevie, up close and personal. Thank you so much. I really was looking forward to her being here to share her journey, to give us her truth, give us her perspective of so many different things because I wanted to dive more into her political aspects, dive more into her transformation into Miss Stevie. From and growing up in South Carolina and just having the support system that she had, her mother, just being able to pour into her and to continue to give her the nudge and the tools that she needs to just keep this whole thing going. And like I said, she's just getting started. She's only 32 years old. She's young. She's only 32 years old. She's just getting started. So I'm looking forward to um, the path forward for her. I'm looking forward to her 20th season. Please make sure that you check out her content. I'm going to have her platforms in the description box. Under this video. So please make sure that you keep up with her, keep up with her on the platforms, keep up with her interviews, just keep up with her with her fashions and everything in between. So I just want to thank everyone so much that decided um, to show up for us both on this live. And for those who show up on the replay, please make sure you do this. Please make sure you watch this whole entire interview. I know sometimes it's hard to sit through interviews, especially if there's within a certain time. But please, make it your business to do so because it is a treat along the way. The whole interview it was great. She gave some gems. She offered some wisdom. She gave her a lot of different perspectives that um, I've been blessed with. So she is more than welcome to come back at any time, So I really appreciate her for being on here. Please make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. Like I said, a little more support wouldn't hurt you guys. So in the meantime, if I don't hear from you now until my next interview is on December 3rd. I'm going to be interviewing with marketing guru and brand ambassador, Passionate Seanville. So please make sure you look out for that as well. And in the meantime, until next time, have a good